Have you ever wondered if just 3 simple words could be powerful enough to make a man think about you constantly, to the point where your presence lingers in his mind even when you're not around? It may sound almost unbelievable, too simple, too easy, but psychology often reveals truths that hide in plain sight. Carl Jung, one of the greatest thinkers of the 20th century, believed that words are not merely sounds we exchange in everyday conversation. For him, words were symbols, carriers of meaning that penetrate far beyond the surface of our rational minds. They move quietly into the unconscious, where our deepest emotions, fears, and desires live. When we hear certain words at just the right moment, they imprint themselves inside us and become part of the way we feel about someone, often without us realizing it. That is the silent power of language. It creates invisible connections, associations, and memories that can shape how we experience relationships. So the question is not whether 3 words can change how someone thinks of you, it is which words and why. In this video, I will share with you 3 psychological words that, when spoken with sincerity, can stir something profound in a man's inner world. But before I reveal them, it's important to understand why these words work, why they bypass logic and go straight into the heart of the unconscious, and why Jung insisted that symbols carry a force greater than reason. Because if you know the why, the how becomes even more powerful. What you are about to discover is not a trick or a game of manipulation. It is a deeper understanding of how human connection truly works. And once you see it, you may never look at language, or at love, in quite the same way again. When Carl Jung explored the nature of the human psyche, he made a bold claim that still reshapes the way we think about relationships today, that it is not the conscious mind, with all its logic and reasoning that drives our emotions and attractions, but the unconscious, the hidden layers of the mind that we rarely notice, yet which quietly shape nearly everything we feel. Words, in this sense, are not just sounds we exchange. They are symbols that slip beneath the surface, bypassing our rational defenses and embedding themselves directly into the unconscious, where they fuse with memory, sensation, and emotion. Imagine for a moment how one word spoken at the right time can stay with you for years. Perhaps it was a word of encouragement whispered when you doubted yourself, or a simple phrase of kindness spoken when you were in pain. That single moment may have passed quickly, but the word did not vanish. It became stored in your inner world, connected forever to the feeling you experienced in that instant. Jung believed that this is how language acquires its power, not through cleverness, but through emotional resonance. And when it comes to men, this principle becomes even more striking. A man may never openly admit how much he craves recognition, desire, or reassurance, but his unconscious records every word that touches those deep needs. He may act strong, independent, even indifferent, yet the right phrase, uttered with sincerity, can lodge itself in his mind and echo long after the conversation ends. This is why some words are unforgettable. They do not simply communicate information, they awaken archetypes, stir hidden insecurities, and satisfy silent longings that he cannot express. The truth is, men are far more affected by words than they want to believe, because their unconscious is always listening. A phrase that tells him he is respected, desired, or not alone does not register only on the surface. It binds itself to his inner image of who he is and who he is to you. And once a word becomes attached to that image, it cannot be easily shaken. This is what makes the right words feel almost magical. They bypass logic and strike at the deepest level of human experience. Think of it this way. Words are like keys, and the unconscious is a locked chamber where his most vulnerable truths are kept. If you speak the words that match the shape of that lock, the door opens silently, and you step inside, without force, without resistance. He may not even realize why he keeps thinking of you, only that something about the way you spoke touched him where nothing else could. That is why Jung insisted that symbols hold greater force than reason, because they carry meaning beyond explanation. And so, when we talk about 3 magical words that can make a man obsessed with you, We are not talking about tricks or manipulation. We are speaking about psychological truths. The right words, spoken in the right moment, can enter his unconscious and remain there, tied to emotion, memory, and identity. They do not fade like ordinary sentences. They stay, they grow, and they return to him again and again, pulling his thoughts back to you in ways he cannot control. This is the foundation we must understand before uncovering the 3 words themselves. They work not because they are clever, but because they awaken something real in the hidden depths of the human mind. I respect you. Begin here, because respect touches the inner image every man carries of himself, the quiet archetype of the hero who wants his effort to mean something to someone who truly sees him. Attraction may begin with charm or beauty, but respect is what turns a passing spark into lasting significance. When you say it, you are not flattering him. You are mirroring back the best in him, telling his unconscious, your strength, your discipline, your choices matter to me. Timing is everything. Say it after a small but real win. He fixed a problem at work. He kept a promise to himself. He showed restraint in a difficult moment. Or say it gently after a setback he handled with integrity. In those thresholds, the psyche is most open. The phrase slips past his defenses and fuses with the feeling of competence. Keep it specific so it lands as truth, not performance. I respect how you handled that conversation. I respect the way you keep showing up. The tone should be slow, grounded, with a soft exhale at the end. No sugarcoating, no dramatics, because the unconscious recognizes congruence. I want you. This is not a billboard of desire. It is a tether of intimacy. Men do not only wish to be appreciated, they need to feel chosen. Jung taught that symbols carry energy into the unconscious. Mutual desire is one of those symbols, awakening deep instinctual currents, the anima-animus dance that pulls 2 psyches toward union. When you say, I want you, you are not performing a line, you are authorizing longing, giving permission to closeness. Avoid the loud or the obvious. Let it arrive in a moment of nearness, after laughter softens the body, when silence feels warm, or when his attention is fully with you. A quiet voice, eye contact that lingers half a breath longer, and a gentle pause before the last word will anchor the phrase in sensation. Do not pad it with explanations. The unconscious does not require a speech, only a clear signal. If you fear it may sound cliché, make it embodied. A hand resting on his forearm as you say it. A stillness that tells his nervous system, this is safe. The line becomes unforgettable not because it is clever, but because it is lived in your voice and presence. I'm with you. This is the sentence that reaches the oldest fear, being alone in the struggle. Men are trained to be self-reliant, to suppress doubt, to carry weight without showing the strain. Yet the psyche longs for a witness and a partner in the fight. When you say, I'm with you, you are not promising solutions. You are offering solidarity, a place to rest his armor. Choose moments of uncertainty. He is second-guessing a decision. The path ahead is unclear, or he has just admitted a vulnerability he rarely shares. Speak softly, then let the quiet do half the work. Add a concrete anchor. I'm with you. We'll figure this out. So the unconscious can attach the phrase to action. Do not rush to fix. Let presence be the medicine. Mean it. The male psyche detects counterfeit care quickly. The body gives you away if the words are hollow. In all 3 phrases, the craft is the same: sincerity, timing, and tone. Sincerity means you only say what is true today, no inflation, no scripts. Timing means you place the words where emotion is already alive. After effort for respect, in warmth for desire, in uncertainty for belonging. So the phrase binds to feeling and is stored as a living symbol rather than a stray sentence. Tone means slower than normal speech, a lower register, and endings that fall rather than rise. This signals certainty and safety to the nervous system. Keep the words rare. Repetition dilutes symbolism. Scarcity preserves charge. Let your life corroborate your language. If you say, "I respect you," do not undermine him in small ways later. If you say, "I want you," let your gestures echo it. If you say, "I'm with you," show up where it counts. Remember, the conscious mind debates and forgets, but the unconscious records felt truth. A few right words, placed like keys at the exact doors, will enter quietly, remain, and begin their work. He will not necessarily be able to explain why he keeps thinking of you. He will only know that the memory of your voice returns at crucial moments, when he strives, when he longs, when he doubts. That is not manipulation. It is resonance. Use these phrases sparingly, purposefully, and never as bait. The secret is not the vocabulary, it is the alignment behind it, the steadiness of your breath, the honesty in your eyes, and the courage to say less so that the unconscious can hear more. In the end, we arrive at the core of what we've uncovered together. These three simple words speak directly to a man's deepest needs. "I respect you" gives him a sense of value. "I want you" ignites the fire of mutual desire. And "I'm with you" soothes his eternal fear of being alone. As Carl Jung reminds us, words are never just sounds. They are symbols that penetrate the unconscious, carrying meanings far beyond their letters. The secret you now hold is not a trick, but a rare psychological key. When spoken with sincerity and in the right moment, these words never leave him. They anchor themselves inside his mind and bind him to you on the level he cannot resist. And if you enjoyed this Jungian insight into love and the psyche, don't forget to subscribe for more of these profound secrets.